reporter down here. Just want to show you them doing some construction work in the city. Apparently they're just digging a trench and they're running this tubing down along the line of it. So they've been doing this for a couple of weeks now, but just want to show you what goes on in the city. They're digging, not sure where the trench started and where it's going to end, but always good to show you what goes on in the city. The other thing I notice is it causes a traffic jam because those buses can't make that turn. A lot of buses been getting jammed up on that turn right there. And it's tough for the buses to make that turn from the inside lane. That's one of the smaller buses, but the bigger buses have even a harder time making that turn. So it's going to show you down there is where they get all the cars and vehicles parked. So this whole shoulder is being blocked anyway. And I'm gonna walk up to the intersection where the buses are trying to make the turn, so you can see what I'm talking about. They got the sidewalk blocked off too, so you can't use the sidewalk unless you walk over here, which is so the buses have a tough time making that turn because they're making it from the inside lane. And I guess this is all blocked off too, so you can't even you can't utilize the sidewalk at all. Theoretically, you know, the way they have it blocked off. And there's a sign at the beginning of this ramp that says, let me show you. It says buses make wide turn. But if they make a wide turn, that means they're going into the next lane. Down here by the Reggie Lewis Center. You guys know where this place is at, right? Down here by Roxbury Crossing. Let's see what this sign says. I believe it says buses make wide turn. Let's see what it says. Bus swing wide. So it says bus swing wide. So they got to swing wide when they get over there from the inside lane. This is a pretty busy intersection too, and the traffic earlier, I don't know how it is now. Well, it is still kind of backed up. Earlier it was backed up the whole street, so now it's still backed up, but not as bad as it was earlier. But you'll see how it plays out. All the cars that are making the right-hand turn are now going to be stuck in this traffic here. And you see how it plays out. Majority of these cars are making the right-hand turn. Normally they make the turn right here, but they can't do that because of the construction. And you notice there's no police detail, so it's not about safety. If it was about safety, there'd be somebody here. There's nobody there. I'll give you guys a little bit of footage of what goes on in the city. Like I said, I'm not too sure who planned this or who oversees it, but they gotta be better planning and better overseeing. Like, this could be done maybe on a weekend. What do you think? I think this part right here could have waited till the weekend without congesting the rest of the the area. But the majority of these buses are trying to get to Ruggles Station. The majority of these buses are trying to get to Ruggles Station. Now, that bus over there is on the outside lane, but it's gonna be a weird move that he's gonna have to make because he's an extra long bus, and this is probably his second time coming around to the same thing. So he's gonna almost cut the cars off in the right-hand lane, just so you know. So we'll watch it when he makes the turn and see what he does. And he's only doing it because he has to do it that way. He can't make it from the inside lane. It's almost impossible for him to make that turn on the inside lane. So we're gonna wait till the light turns and see how it plays out. See, it's almost an accident starting right there. See that? It's very dangerous to do that. And you see what I'm talking about? He's barely making that turn from the outside lane. And he's cut that car off in the process of doing it. And the buses, they have no choice because it's a bigger bus, it's a longer bus, and he has to make it from that outside lane. But in reality, he's cutting off cars on the inside lane. The smaller buses don't really have that problem. They could tightly squeeze it in from the inside lane. But the ones in the outside lane are the bigger buses, the longer buses, and it's very dangerous. Earlier there was a near accident of that. Matter of fact, I think there was an accident at one of the buses. I just want to give you some footage of what goes on in the city. See, he has to go wide, pretty wide to get that turn. It's a tight turn. I don't know if you guys can see it, but that's a tight turn for a bus to make. It's very, very tight because of the angle he's at. And these buses are not supposed to back up unless there's an MBTA starter or supervisor to assist them, because that's per MBTA policy, I believe. Because those buses always get into accidents when they back up. I can't hear you. Say it again. I'm for you guys. I'm trying to help you guys out because this is ridiculous. I said that how is Boston creating this problem where you guys can't even make the turn? It's unsafe. It's very unsafe.
Thank you.
Take care. Be safe out there. So I'm for the MBTA 100%. And she said, am I for them or am I against them? I'm for you guys because there's no way you can make that turn like that. It's almost impossible to make this turn. So Mayor Janey, take note of this. You guys watch my YouTube channel. I point out the good and the bad. This is the bad. And so far, I've been finding more bad than good in the city. And Mayor Janey has not done anything to correct any of these issues. So, if you want to be an elected official, you want to get some votes, you better start making the city look a lot better, a lot safer. We've been asking her years to clean up methadone mine, but she hasn't done anything about it. So we don't expect her to do anything as a mayor. Definitely not. So MBTA, like, where's the safety for your drivers? How come you don't make some plans? And anytime you disrupt the route of the MBTA, you're supposed to notify the MBTA. Anytime and every time, you're supposed to notify the MBTA of that. And I don't see. Maybe I should this police officer over here, see if he knows. He's the transit officer, so see if he has the answer for that. Hey, I got a question for you. Did anybody notify you guys that they're going to disrupt the MBTA schedule or the bus route like that?
This one particularly here?
Yeah, right there, right there.
It's a fluid situation. It's always changing around here.
But my thing is this.
Construction up here that they've been doing.
Yeah, I seen that. But to me, that's unsafe for the buses to go around making that turn. You have to put your mask on. I got my mask on.
I
But
know.
I
I'm
appreciate it, though.
still.
I appreciate you.
No, there's actually a sign right here, though, to notify the buses. I don't know if you saw it.
I see it.
Buses. I know it's routed.
But know what happens? The bigger buses got to make the turn from this lane here. And I get it on video of the bus have to cut the cars off because the cars don't know the bus is making that turn. So it's unsafe. It's very unsafe. And
It's more likely. I hope it's just a temporary. Watch yourself.
I got you.
I'm sure it's just a temporary thing for the day.
I understand it's a temporary thing, but I think the mayor and people should have made better planning on how to do it and not disrupt traffic the way they're doing it. But you be safe. Nice talking to you, my man. Take care. All right. So he said there is a sign that says wide turn. But my question is this: how are the buses going to know to make a wide turn if they're on this side here? It's almost impossible for them to do it. Now all these buses that got to make a wide turn. See, this car's in the wrong lane now because he can't see that sign. There should be a signboard up here, to be honest with you. This sign is too low to the ground for anybody to see. He almost ran. This yellow car almost ran into the sign because he couldn't even see the sign. That's not even a legal sign, to be honest with you. That's not even high visible sign. That says bus swing wide. It says not about car traffic whatsoever. This says bus swing wide. Nothing says that road closed. Nothing says detour. Nothing of the nature. And then this same bus right here, the one going to Ruggles, all the buses that say Ruggles on it got to make the wide turn. Now, this should not happen. This should not happen. And I want to see how they're going to dig the trench across the street, because when they dig the trench across the street, that's going to be really, really bad. Maybe I might come back down here when they're digging the trench across the street. But it clogs up all this traffic. I don't know if you can see the traffic down. Let me see if I can zoom in. It clogs up the traffic down there. It makes it more difficult for these guys to do their job. Let's see how this bus makes the wide turn, because he's got to make a wide turn because I'm not sure how long those buses are. I want to say they're 80 feet, but I could be wrong. I might be wrong on the actual length of that. I want to say they're 80 feet, but one of my viewers will know the answer to that better than I would. See how this plays out. And keep in mind, he's making the turn from the outside lane, cutting off cars on the inside lane. See that? You can't. It's almost impossible to do that. Almost causing an accident again. And if I'm not mistaken, I gotta check, but I believe there was an accident here. That's what brought me to the attention to come down here. They had to tow away a bus earlier at this intersection because of that reason. So, like I said, this is happening at one of the busiest times of the day. And it's a lot of buses that pass through here too. This is the main route that the buses take to get to Ruggles. One of the only routes that they use to get to Ruggles, pretty much. And they all come from Dudley, or now Nubian, but they all come from down there, and they make their way over here. I want to give you a little bit more footage of what's going on. It's not safe. It's definitely not safe. Whether it's temporary or not, it's not safe. And you're jeopardizing not only the pedestrians, but the passengers on the buses and in the cars' safety, because you're forcing a bus to make a turn that theoretically will be considered illegal. If you made a turn, they call it a wide turn. If you made a wide turn like that, a police officer will probably write you up and give you a citation for that. And these buses don't really have to swing like 18-wheelers, where you could come in from the inside lane and swing out and come back in again. It doesn't work the same way with the buses because they kind of swing differently. And I'm not too sure what they're running in those tubes, because it's a lot of tubes that they're running. So one day I find out what they're running now over there. See, that guy just made an outside turn, which is kind of dangerous. The 23 is gonna make an outside turn as well, force him to cut that car off. People always ask me, am I for you or am I against you? Well, I'm for people doing good stuff in the city and I'm against people doing bad stuff in the city. So when that bus driver asked me that question, I'm for the bus drivers on this one, because I know they have a difficult job and it's a dangerous job. And if they get into an accident, they're the ones who got to get drug tests for no reason. They're the ones who are jeopardizing their safety every time they drive these buses. And they don't need anything extra to make it any worse for them. Like, I think this thing could have been waited for the weekend or after hours or less busy travel time. I mean, there's no way you should be blocking up this street for this long. Pretty much the whole day, causing chaos and confusion through the whole city of Boston. And they do it, and this is the stuff that goes on. They don't plan things appropriately. They cause mass confusion throughout the whole city of Boston. And these drivers are going to get impatient because this light has like a long delay when you hit the button. So they're going to get very impatient, start honking the horns and everything. Everybody starts beeping the horn because the traffic's not moving fast enough. How you doing? All right. Very dangerous turn to make. Very dangerous. You don't even get the volume of cars that should get through there. They don't even get through because of the way it's set up. Keep in mind, there's no detail officer here either. It wouldn't be too bad if they had somebody directing traffic, but every time these companies call for details, they can't fill them because Boston Police has a very difficult and tough job. So sometimes it's almost impossible to fill the details because they have more details than they have officers to fill them. Guys are laying tubing down, and I think, I'm not sure, I think this is electrical tubing for that that busway that they're putting down on Columbus Ave. I could be wrong, but I think it may be. What else would it be for? There's no other upgrade in the city other than that. Anything else is already there. Comcast is already there. The electrical wires are already there. So this looks like this is like an add-on. Definitely an add-on for sure. So that goes to show you what goes on in the city. Just so you know, everybody's getting their free COVID shot over here. This is where everybody's been coming in for the last, several hours. I guess they open it up from 16 and up. If you want your COVID shot, you can get one of those, let me see if I can show you what it looks like. It's a card that looks like one of these. You get a COVID card like that. And they tell you to come back for your second dosage in a different time, whatever. Look at this. It's almost impossible to make that turn from the inside lane. It's very dangerous as well. Alright guys, I want to show you what's going on in the city. Take a walk up here and see what else is going on. That bus is going to make the outside lane. A lot of the buses that did the second and third time around, they're doing the outside lanes because they know the inside lane is too tight. But the only thing about the outside lane is just more dangerous because nobody knows you're making that turn. But I just want to give you guys some footage of how they mess up our city all the time, and no one's being held accountable for it. Nobody's being held accountable for anything. We used to say that the people don't live in the city, but it seems like the people who live in the city and mess up the city just as well. What's up there, how you doing? Like I said, this traffic is all backed up. Normally the traffic wouldn't be backed up this far, but it's backed up because of they can't make that turn. All the traffic is all backed up, and every time they hit the button, it even backs up longer.
Take a 10.
Let me see if I can cut across before the light changes. Maybe walk across now. Got plenty of time because that light has a long delay on it. That light has a pretty long delay for some reason. I'm not too sure why, but it does. So it backs the traffic all the way up. See, you see how far it's backed up. And that's with 2 lanes. So imagine when they do Columbus Ave, when Columbus Ave only has 1 lane, how much traffic's going to be backed up. Alright guys, just want to show you what goes on in the city. I'm going to cut this one short because there's not much else to see other than traffic backed up the whole road up to Madison.
I'm sorry about that.
Alright guys, till next time, and there's Porter. I'll catch you on the next one. Let's see here.